every Saturday. Local chefs create savory and artistic dishes for you to enjoy making in your own home. So add a new recipe to your collection that is sure to be a family favorite here at Scenic Vantage Point.
Welcome to What's Cooking at the Market. I'm at Vantage Point in downtown Port Huron. I'm Denise Stanklaw from Port Huron Hospital, and I'm here today with Chef Neil from Pompeii's Pizza and Italian Eatery. And our first recipe is going to be spicy chicken and artichoke Toscana. Welcome, Neil.
Thank you.
Let's start by talking about the ingredients for this recipe.
Okay. Well, we're using a fresh chicken breast today. We have a blend of Cajun spices with some flour, fresh Spanish onions, capers, artichoke quarters, and a little bit of crushed red pepper. And we're doing a penne pasta with that today.
Let's talk about the difference between a Spanish onion and any other onion.
There's literally, a dozen varieties of onion, from green onion to Spanish and red onion. You get hotter flavors with different onions. I just believe this is the most generally used onion, so it's in most of your recipes that you'd have. And red onion gets a little hotter, a little more stronger flavor. You see that more in salads and stuff like that. So we just chose this one today, and that's what we do for this recipe.
Let's talk about capers, because I think there are a lot of people that are at restaurants and they see capers on the recipe or the menu, and they're wondering what they are.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll see it when you have gravel lox with salmon. You'll do that with a little red onion. It's actually a nut off of an Italian tree. It's like a seed off of a pine tree in Italy, I believe. And it's got a little tart flavor, a touch salty, but it gives a nice accent to different things you do with it.
And they're typically put in a brine in a bottle, like you would find in the pickle area of your grocery store.
Exactly. And we actually use this on one of our pizzas. It's called the Tuscan, and it has olive oil, ricotta cheese, capers, spinach, garlic. So it's people, once they eat it, they love it. But it's a little unique to get to that point to try and eat it. So.
Absolutely, and then you're going to put some artichokes in there too.
These are quartered artichokes, and we use those a lot at the restaurant. And
that should be
we have a heavy cream that kind of brings it all together, and you get a little spiciness in the sauce, and it'll be good.
I was looking at the recipe because we're always thinking about eating healthy, and frankly, it does have a little bit of heavy cream, but really not that much. So what you're going to get in your portion is fairly small. So this is a relatively healthy meal.
Sure, and you could probably
vegetables.
Substitute with a half and half or a milk if you want to do it. It'll change the consistency a little bit, but if you're conscious with that, then you could do that.
But you'd still get the flavor.
Yeah, and the flour's got a touch of you're using flour, so you could not bread that at home and just use the Cajun spice to get the heat. But it's not a really hot dish. It's a lighter. It's not like a blackened heat. It's got the flour mixed in, so it does kind of calm it down a little bit. So did you mix this yourself, or does it come that way? No, we make this at the restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, we do about 8 spices in our Cajun mix, and then we do a little bit of flour with that, and it's one of the recipes you can't give out.
Yeah, that's right. Something unique to Pompeii's you're going to want to check out.
Yeah.
So how do we get started?
We're going to do a little bit of a butter substitute.
Healthy right off the start.
Yeah, right.
That's right. While we're doing this, let's talk a little bit about Pompeii's. How long has Pompeii's been open?
We bought that we opened in November of 2002, so we'll be there 9 years this November. We did an addition in 2004. So we have 97 seats now. We got 2 rooms, each have about 50 seats. We have a full bar. We do catering out of the restaurant.
I was so surprised to hear the catering option. That is awesome.
Yeah, we do the full Italian menu. We do hand-tossed pizzas. You can actually come in and you can see the guys tossing the pizzas and stuff, and so it's kind of nice. It's cooked on stone ovens, so it's a great crust, and people really love, say we got an awesome pizza. Homemade meatballs. Everything's as homemade as possible. We try to do it like if you were doing it at home, and I don't have Nan on the back making tortellinis
But
and that kind of
close,
stuff.
huh? Close?
We use a good Italian import, and it's good stuff. So.
Well, Neil is a famous chef. You probably don't know this, but he has his very own bobblehead. And my opinion is, once you get a bobblehead, you're famous. So we're here with a very famous chef.
All right. So we'll get our pans hot so we can start going
Great.
here.
Now this is, it looks like a thin sliced chicken.
Yeah, this is actually, we you know, obviously do bulk chicken. This is the wrong one. But we do chicken breast, and it's we clean them and pound them, so it's a little more tender than you're going to do if you just use it
A regular.
regular. Yeah.
It cooks faster too if it's thinner, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So
And it's, you know, you should be able to eat it with a fork. So it's,
that's great.
Cut it up with a fork.
I have a fork, and I'm looking forward to it. So.
Now we got the right ones.
Okay, great. So we're taking our thin sliced chicken. We're gonna dredge it through this great Cajun and flour mixture here.
Just a couple times back and forth. Get a good coating on it.
Now, you didn't dip that chicken in anything?
No, this
You
is just the moisture of the chicken. That's all
Okay,
I need.
great.
If you're doing like a Parmesan or something, then you egg wash it.
Okay,
But we're not doing that here.
okay,
And your pan's a little preheated, so you're going to get a little heat with that.
right,
Can you bring that bucket over, Deb? And we're going to put in a little bit of onion.
okay.
So, yeah, thanks.
I always like the professional chefs, they never have to measure anything. Have you noticed that at home? Like, I have to have a recipe that tells me every single ingredient and how much. So you guys just know, don't you?
Well, it's really trial and error. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things on the menu at the restaurant. We just go in the back kitchen and start throwing stuff together. This dish actually, I got kind of tired of eating the same food, so I made it up one time. I was down at my desk eating, and I was like, oh, it's pretty good. So we kind of tweaked it and
Okay,
threw it on the menu.
so then you kind of, when you taste it, you decide, well, that had a little bit too much of this or
Sure,
a little too much of
sure.
that, and you just work with it.
Yeah, and
Okay.
we have there's a couple dishes where I've actually asked the customers. I go out and give out some samples, and how do you like this? You know, what do you think of that? And you know, what does it need? And actually, shellfish I can't eat, so I have to
Okay.
I can guess to a certain point. And I have to everybody else try
Right.
it. And
Oh, that's a
and,
great way to,
you know,
to find out what people like.
Yeah.
Take it out
exactly.
and have
you know,
them
I mean,
sample?
that's yeah, because you're, you know, it's not like you're, you know, buying a bottle of water that
Right.
you might not drink for a month. It's you're getting critiqued right away. And,
Absolutely.
And so you have
So
to have a.
so our audience is going to want to come down to the restaurant. You
I
know,
hope so,
just on the chance that you might get a new taste of something. That'll
exactly,
be great.
yeah. Yeah, we try to be unique. There's a lot of things on the menu that you won't see everywhere else. We do a stuffed portobello that normally is a chicken or a spinach and artichoke stuffing. Well, we had that for a few years. My wife was like, you know, let's think of something new. So I went in the back and we got about eight different vegetables, some unique seasonings and spices to it, and we call it the hot garden stuff or hot salad stuffed portobello. So
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
You know, while we're talking about all these vegetables, there's a farmer's market that's here at Vantage Point on Tuesdays and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And you can buy a lot of the vegetables that we were talking about here. We hope you'll come out and support the farmer's market and Pompeii's.
And this sautés up for, you know, this is like about a medium heat. We try to work with a medium heat on a lot of our stuff. If you use a pre-cooked pan, you're not going to really have a sticking problem, and you don't want to burn.
Right.
If it cooks too quick on the outside, it'll be raw in the middle. So.
And how are we going to know when it's done, Neil?
Well.
You'll know, but how would I know?
I mean, you can kind of cheat and just cut into your chicken.
Okay.
But,
we don't want to cheat.
Yeah. But if you go like about 3 or 4 minutes aside,
Okay.
that's usually about
Okay,
right.
good.
And you know, we get a nice color.
It's looking yummy.
And once we do a flip, we can put in about half a dozen artichokes.
My personal favorite.
And about a tablespoon of capers.
Awesome.
And we're going to use some Roma tomato.
Awesome.
We use these at the restaurant.
I'm also amazed at the chefs and the sharp knives they use, and they don't seem to cut their fingers.
Well,
That's good.
It happens.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm sure.
And we're just going to do a dice. So kind of a medium dice.
Is there a special timing that you have? I noticed the chicken went in first. and then the onion, and then the artichoke.
Exactly.
It's probably
You're gonna-
because of the timing.
Yeah, everything takes
Little
different
bit
places.
different,
Yeah,
right.
your tomato, you're just kind of going to heat that.
Okay.
So that's going to go in last. We do your chickens first, the capers, the onion. You want it to kind of flavor to kind of cook in a little
Right,
bit.
right. The
So-
great thing is, for our audience today, everyone's going to get a sample of this awesome looking meal and also a recipe card before you leave. The recipes are also going to be available on PortHuronHospital.org or downtownporthuron.org, and you'll be able to watch the show on YouTube for the next week or so. So if you have friends who weren't here and want to see it, please let them know.
And now we've let this cook about a minute and a half. We're going to add some heavy cream. And like you say, it's just a couple ounces. so-
Absolutely. And you could substitute if you wanted to
Correct.
make it a little bit healthier.
And we're going to increase the heat, which is going to start.
Why are we?
Well, with heavy cream, you want to have a more of kind of a boiling point.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to be a reduction.
And it does
what they
look
call
like
that.
it's boiling, doesn't
Yep.
it? Yes.
And we're going to add our pasta.
Okay. Neil, this is looking more yummy by the minute.
Good. And just a pinch
A pinch.
of crushed red.
That's chef talk, a pinch.
Yeah. And you want to get that right into the sauce. And we don't let the crushed red on this dish cook in too long, just because it's just spicy. It's not real hot.
Okay.
So
That's also a chef trick when they can flip that stuff in the pan and not get it all over.
Yeah.
That's impressive always.
that's why you can't see our feet, right?
That's right.
And yeah, another minute, that'll be ready to go.
That's exciting.
And we just need one of our bowls, if you could.
My mouth is watering. I can hardly wait.
Thank you very much.
This concludes our first segment. In our second segment, Neil is going to make a shrimp primavera. Right now, I'm going to sample this, so don't go away. We'll be back in a few. Welcome back to What's Cooking at the Market at Vantage Point in downtown Port Huron. I'm Denise Stanklaw from Port Huron Hospital. And in our first segment, Chef Neil from Pompeii's Pizzeria and Italian Eatery made a fabulous dish called Spicy Chicken and Artichoke Toscana, and we shared that with our live audience. What do you think? Yes.
Thank you.
Everybody loved it. It was fabulous. So you'll want to get down to Pompeii's and get some of your very own. In this segment, we're going to cook some shrimp primavera.
Yes, we are.
So let's start. It looks like we have some nice color here, Neil. I
Yes,
hear
we
that's
do.
healthy.
Yep. And we have an array of vegetables. We have, again, the Spanish onion. We have fresh eggplant, broccoli. These are fresh, like a silver dollar mushroom we use. Red and green peppers. Those are the bell peppers. Some fresh garlic. We have shrimp this time. This is a 2125 shrimp. And our house pasta is cavatappi. And then our homemade marinara that we use at the restaurant.
Okay, let's go back to the, what kind of shrimp?
It's a 2125. That's the count size. That
Oh,
means
okay.
21 after it's peeled. It's 2125 per pound.
Okay, and
You
this
know,
is-
that's the general range of it.
This has been peeled and deveined
Yes.
for our purposes.
Yeah, that's
right?
we do at the restaurant, and actually we get them in peeled and deveined, but that's the size we use.
Okay.
They go from, you can get the salad shrimp, which is like a I want to say 80 to 90, and then a U10 is like less than 10 per pound.
Okay.
So-
And tell me about this homemade marinara sauce.
We use a fresh tomato base. We use diced, like a kind of a, well, not even diced, this is a crushed tomato base out of California. And then we, doctor it up, and it cooks about 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
And that's, we use the same base, and we add meat and onion and pepper to our meat sauce at the restaurant. But yeah, the sauces are homemade. I mean, we don't crush our own tomatoes, but we use a great base, and we just kind of doctor it from there, and people love it.
So this is very healthy too.
Yeah, this is the marinara, so there's no meat in that. I mean, this is probably one of the healthiest dishes we have. Some people actually at the restaurant, when they don't want pasta, they'll order over spinach.
Oh.
So we do over fresh spinach. And then we also started getting gluten-free.
Nice.
We have a gluten-free a rice pasta. We have a gluten-free pizza dough that we also use for garlic cheese breads. And we also have 2 gluten-free alcoholic beverages, Woodchuck cider
Okay.
and Red Bridge beer. So.
Okay, well, that goes with that full bar he was talking
Yeah.
about earlier.
And the pizza.
There you go. So if we're going to talk some more about Pompeii, tell us a little bit more about the catering opportunities through the restaurant.
Well, we do, a lot of the stuff off the menu. Some of the stuff I'll suggest not to do because it doesn't hold so well. I'm a little kind of a stickler for making sure when you're eating it, it's going to be awesome. So most of the menu items we can do off that. We also have a Rent-A-Chef catering business. It was 13 years this year we started that, and that's on site. We go right on site. We do coney dogs to Alaskan king crab legs, pasta stations, omelet stations. And the premise to that is fresh as possible. So when you're eating at 20 minutes old, when you guys, we do buffet, we do small parties, large parties, pig roast. The largest party we did was a pig roast for 1,200. That was at the Seaway Terminal back in 2005. And we're open to try and do anything. If I can't do it, I'll let you know. But
Right.
It's we have a wide variety of what we can offer on the catering.
And if somebody they don't need a chef, but they want the food, they can come and pick it up also.
Yeah, and we can do drop-offs, and,
Okay.
and we have equipment, chafers and things that will,
Sure.
put in with it as far as the package price and stuff. So,
Sure.
But yeah, we do drop-off or pick up in that respect.
That's
as well.
awesome.
So, yeah.
You mentioned that you have 2 rooms at the restaurant, and I think you said that oftentimes you could do private parties there as well.
We've done bridal showers and birthdays and wedding rehearsals and things like that, where we have about 50 people in each room, and so we've actually closed the restaurant for a couple parties as well at slower times. It might be not Friday, Saturday nights, but
Right.
we've had people rent the whole restaurant as well, and we have a full bar. We did put the addition on in 2004, and it's has windows right. You can see, about half the room can see the river.
Yes,
It's kind of a nice
beautiful.
room. We renovated the existing room we bought with the building, and we try to make it as nice as possible.
Absolutely. And where are you located?
We're at 1120 Military Street, and which is actually right behind us, but it's right downtown Port Huron.
And your hours of operation?
We're open 7 days, Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday, noon to 9.
So this is your life.
Yeah, I've been cooking since I've been 15. My wife's been in the business for years, and we put together as a team, and we've done well with it. So.
I'm anxious to know where Neil got his passion for cooking. Let's talk about that.
Well, my mom got me into it when I was a kid, and obviously haven't missed many meals. So, like they say, never trust a skinny chef.
Yeah, absolutely. But
unless
a
it's
chef
this
with
one,
a
unless
bobblehead
it's
is
that one, But and I just started when I was 15, and I tried getting out a couple times, but I think I'm geared to do it.
Draws you back.
Yeah, so I never got out of it too long, and
That's awesome.
Just work hard and.
Yeah. And it pays off.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so what are we going to do now, Neil?
We're going to do a shrimp primavera.
Okay.
So we're going to use a little bit of like a liquid butter substitute.
Yep. Healthy
Yep.
start.
I'm going to put in our shrimp.
Now, I'm a little surprised at that. I would have thought that some of the vegetables would have taken longer to cook.
No, you can.
No?
We're going to put them in at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, we're going to be just using it just kind of like it is here.
Okay.
Your mushrooms in there, peppers.
Lots of color.
Yeah, and I'm
Yes.
gonna chop up a little onion
Another
here.
Spanish onion. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of the vegetables that we're using here today you can purchase right here at the farmer's market. Tuesdays and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
This is our fresh eggplant.
So you do take the...
Yeah, you skin it,
Okay.
cut off the end and put it on its flat side and kind of peel it with a knife.
Okay.
And the eggplant doesn't...
And watch your finger.
Watch your fingers. Yeah. Do try this at home, but be careful.
That's right.
And, you know, just make sure your skin's off. Some people do eat the skin, but
Yes.
we prefer not to do that.
Okay.
We'll do a couple wedges like so.
Okay, so fairly large chunks.
Yeah, and we do about 8 pieces.
Okay.
Normally your eggplant is a little, when you get a riper one, you don't have to worry about it cooking too long. Sometimes they're a little more firm. You want to start them right off, put them right
Okay.
on the bottom of the pan.
Oh,
So they
okay.
start to kind of,
Soften up a little bit.
soften up, yeah.
Okay.
And so we let this cook about 3-4 minutes. Again, a medium heat. Try to have your pan a little bit heated ahead of time. You can hear it sizzling, so
Yes.
that will help non-sticking, and you
Right.
want to be able to cook quickly. you
Sure.
know.
And
the
how
longer,
do you-
the
how do
longer
you
you cook stuff, it kind of gets soft and,
Right.
you know.
How do you know when to do
Well,
the famous
shrimp,
flip?
well, we're going to look at our shrimp, and you'll start to see it turning pink.
Uh-huh.
Okay? You see this is
Oh,
the
yes.
cook side, so we
right.
can flip that.
Okay.
And like I say,
Oh,
the shrimp,
can you smell it? It smells wonderful. Yes, it's very good.
you don't want to overcook your shrimp.
Okay.
Any seafood, you want to try and cook as quickly as possible.
Okay.
It's, you know, stir
Makes it
frying.
tough if you...
Yeah, a little bit rubbery and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we're going to kind of loosen it a little bit like that.
Sure.
We're going to add a touch of garlic.
Ooh. Always adds a nice flavor.
Yep. Kind of let that kind of cook in a second.
I think I'm picking up your passion for food.
See?
Yes, this is very exciting. Oh, that looks yummy. So you grew up in the area, right, Neil?
I
You're
grew up
a
in St. Clair.
St. Clair County
Yep.
guy,
And grew up in St. Clair, and my wife is from Romeo.
not too far away.
And we pretty much, we used to own the Coney Island in St. Clair.
So a whole history of restaurant
Get our
work.
fresh spinach.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's been a local boy. I moved out, went to Florida for a couple years, but you know, I grew up on the river and
yeah, miss the
you know,
water.
yeah. Well, I didn't live far from the ocean, but
Yeah, but
fresh
it's
water
different,
is awesome.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
This is our homemade marinara. We're going to do about 4 ounces of this.
So is that 1 ounce a
This
scoop?
is, this is a
about?
2 ounce
Oh,
ladle.
2 ounce, okay.
Yep. And then we're going to put a touch of the spinach.
Ooh, more color. Yay.
And you can go a little extra on your spinach because once it starts to heat up, it kind of cooks down. So if you put too little, it's going to disappear. So
Right.
increase our heat a little bit to kind of sear and get quick.
Sure. This is looking very good.
Yeah, this is, like I say, this is one of the healthier dishes. So it really,
Yeah,
it's one of the favorites. We also have eggplant parmesan at the restaurant. And I guess that's kind of hard to get around here. So we get a lot of people that really
Sure.
do love that and come in especially for that.
Right.
We've been there almost 9 years. We've had people that will come in and get the same thing over and over, and other people will come in and try something new
everything
yeah.
different, right, right.
Some people can't get off the spaghetti meatballs. You know, we do
Well,
have.
if they're homemade.
Yeah, they are. They're like a third to a quarter pound. We actually, once we bake them in the oven, we seep them in the sauce. So when we serve it, they're right, kind of soaked in the sauce.
Just sounds yummy and fabulous to have an Italian restaurant in town. We're really
Yes.
fortunate.
Well,
So we need to support Pompeii's.
Yeah, there's a lot of good local family-run things downtown.
Yes,
So
yes, it's awesome.
We try to even get around everybody too, and
Absolutely.
you know, it's always nice to have a little bit different food. So,
Sure.
You know, just come once a week. It'll be
That's
great.
right, once a week at work. This is looking just absolutely wonderful. I don't know which one my favorite's going to be. This is tough.
Yeah, 'cause you love artichokes.
I do, but this looks really yummy too.
Yeah, there's no spice in this one. The marinara is actually, I try to describe it as effervescent. The flavor is just, I mean, the flavor is great, but it's light, and people are really surprised when they are eating it that it's not a heavy sauce.
Right. Just as a reminder, these recipes will be available on PortHuronHospital.org and also downtownporthuron.org. And you can pick up one if you're here today in our live audience. And you can also watch these segments on YouTube probably the middle of next week.
All right, Denise, I think we're good.
We're good? Okay.
Put it there in the bowl.
Before we
There
close
you
the
have
show,
shrimp primavera.
Neil, it looks awesome. We'll taste that in a few minutes. But before we do that, just want to let everybody know that next week is the first annual offshore races sponsored by Port Huron and Sarnia. So we're not going to do the cooking show next week, but we'll be back August 13th with Tammy Korchak from the hospital. And she's going to be here with Chef Shell from Chef Shell's Catering. Neil, I want to thank you so much. This has been a blast.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I can't wait to try the next dish.
Beautiful setting, and
I know.
Can't beat the day.
Just couldn't have been better.
You did a great job. Thank you.
You did too. So that's it for now. We hope you'll join us next time. And in the meantime, remember to eat healthy.